park. Breaking ball misses below the knees to Wilkin.
You know, not to try and be home biased, but that one was pretty up in the trees for Beck.
You just never know from out here, because
No, it
up in
is
the
tough.
trees out here,
The trees leaning over the
yeah.
fence.
2-1 below the knees to Wilkin. Looks to reach base for the third time this afternoon.
Yeah, that tree line really is right up against the fence. Good point.
I believe 352 the number to dead center, which is remarkable. Don't see that anywhere else on the Cape. The 3-1 from Patel is fouled off.
Yeah, 6 feet shorter to left than it is to center. 346 to left, 352 to center. I know we harp on it a lot, but it is something for these guys to come here and play on these grand college fields, and here you have 350 to dead center.
Payoff pitch, popped up foul, and that'll make its way into the parking lot. That one got a car off a hop. Better than on the fly. 7 runs on 10 hits this afternoon for Harwich. Another strong offensive performance for the M's. Payoff pitch once more. Fastball misses low and outside, and Brock Wilkin draws his second walk of the contest. And the Mariners have a base runner with nobody out.
And it feels like all this offense for Harwich, it's almost out of frustration for how these last 2 games have gone for them. I mean, you go into the 9th here at Red Wilson 2 days ago, leading 2-1, just to have that game ultimately end in a draw, and then you have Bourne drop a 6th spot on you in the 9th inning after you climb your way back into that one and tie it up going into that final inning. So with the offense not really coming in stretches for Harwich, it's nice to see for the team. I'm sure it feels nice for them to be able to finally string together some hits, string together some runs, and get it going at the plate.
There's Carter Putz, who's gotten it going at the plate today, 2 for 3 with 2 RBI singles. Flew out to right his last time up. Wilkin takes a lead off first. The 1-0 misses inside. Putz, another guy still looking for his first home run. Got less and less guys as the season goes on in this Mariners lineup. Patel's 2-0. That's in there for a strike.
Yeah, Putz, curious about that one. Having a conversation with the home plate umpire about it. Ultimately nodded.
Two balls, one strike. Ground ball to the right side, bobbled at first. They'll rush the throw and just gets Wilkin in time. Dominic Keegan went to backhand that one, didn't get it cleanly, but able to make a strong throw, and Wilkin is out. Over to first on the fielder's choice is Putz, and that'll bring up Press Kavanaugh.
Yeah, if you're Putz, you'll take it. You know, it's a misplay by Keegan as that ball was playable, but he tried to barehand it and could not get it back into his glove, or could not ultimately make the throw. And it took him a second. They did get the lead man, in Wilkin. But inning continues, of course, with just one out.
First pitch to Kavanaugh misses down. He is 0 for 3. Flew out in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and popped out in foul territory his last time up. Clouds continue to move in, but again, still no imminent signs of severe weather. Pitch misses outside. At the very least, Tim, this game is official.
Certainly is, and if you're Harwich, of course, you always want to play out a full game, but you're fortunate that you are in the driver's seat right now.
2-0. Fastball misses down and away. So we'll see if Kavanaugh has the take sign, although he might be more inclined to swing away. with his team up 6. He doesn't swing, and the ball misses outside. So Kavanaugh aboard with a walk. That'll put runners at first and second. 1 away for Josh Hood.
And I mean, I like the call there to take the pitch if you're Kavanaugh. Yeah, your team is up by 6, and, you know, YD pitching really hasn't been able to find the strike zone all too well today. But you want to practice good habits. You know, if this is a game where you're down in a tight situation, I mean, getting a guy on base is going to do wonders for you. And you get a guy on the mound is not throwing it well. You want to try and take a pitch there. So nice call there on Harwich.
First pitch to Hood just misses. Hood, soon to be a member of the NC State Wolfpack, formerly of UPenn. 1-0 misses down and in, and of course, this past week drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 20th round. Don't know if there's an official decision out yet on if he'll return to school, but that deadline I know is fast approaching, so we'll know soon enough.
I believe, is it August 1st?
I believe so. August 1st. That ball hammered out to left field. Going back to the wall, it'll one hop against the wall. In to score easily from second is Putz. And holding at third is Kavanaugh. So it's an RBI double for Josh Hood, and the Mariners add on to their big lead, 8-1 now.
It just keeps on coming. I mean, that is the first 5 batters here in the inning to get on base, and the only guy who was recorded out was Wilkin on a fielder's choice. So similar situation for Harwich as they had in the 3rd inning. It's just a parade onto that first base bag, as I think we may have a change here.
And we will. Scott Pickler goes to the bullpen once again. So the 6th pitcher of the game will enter for YD. We'll get you his name when we come back. Harwich leads 8-1 in the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Back here at Red Wilson Field, another pitching change for Scott Pickler and the YD Red Sox as Jarrett Godman on the mound now, the right-hander out of Oklahoma will get a chance. He's got 2 runners in scoring position to worry about, with Hood at second and Kavanaugh at third. Dylan Phillips to the plate. He has a 2-run double, and it came in a pretty similar situation, although the bases were loaded, when he came to the plate with 2 away, and he's ahead in the count 1-0. Godwin comes set. Fires home. That one's over. In addition to the 2-run double, Phillips walked and he struck out looking. Already 3 RBIs now in less than a week's work for Phillips, and he's going to add to that total here as he rips one into right field for a hit. Kavanaugh scores. Held at third is Hood. RBI single for Phillips. He's got 3 today. 9-1, Harwich leads.
These bats are just coming to life here today for Harwich, and it's been fun to watch. And it's been interesting to see how YD has decided to handle it here today on the mound with 6 pitchers now being used. I mean, none of these guys have really looked all that great, and I think that is in part why we have seen so many guys used. But it gets to a point where, YD, you got to start thinking about tomorrow. I mean, you've used more than a third of your entire pitching staff here, just not even 2/3 of the way into the game.
Another RBI chance for Max Codier, who's got a pair as well today. He's 2 for 3. Doubled in 2 in the 3rd inning, just like Phillips, and singled his last time up. Pitch misses low to Codier. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another offensive explosion for the Mariners. We've seen them have double digits in the run column several times this year. Certainly more than we've been accustomed to seeing as the 1-1 check swing Codier went around. Of course, the 15-run outburst against Hyannis, the most scored by the M's in almost 11 years. 2010, the last time Harwich was able to do it. Coincidentally, it was against the YD Red Sox. It was also a high-scoring game from both teams. I believe 16-14 was the final. Harwich coming away with the win. But 15-12 the final for the Hyannis game, so they came close, but not quite. 1-2, swung on and missed, and Codier goes down on strikes. Out number 2, a big one as Godwin tries to limit the damage.
I mean, there you go for Godwin. You come in, I mean, you gave up the double, but to be able to come back and get a nice strikeout like that on a guy like Codier, who, while traditionally not the best bat in this Mariners lineup, has been having a pretty good day. So that's an important out to be able to get.
So here's Preisner, who is hitless thus far. He did reach on a walk in the 3rd inning. He watches a hard fastball from Godwin miss upstairs. Mariners scoring 1 in the 1st, 5 in the 3rd, and so far 3 home in the 6th. 1-0 is in for a strike. Winning this one would go to Trey Dombrowski. The loss charged with the first pitcher that went out for YD, that being Eric Yost. The 1-1 breaking ball fouled off.
Seemed like a long time ago since we've seen Yost.
Yeah, only went 2 2/3. Had been going pretty smoothly up until that 3rd inning. Gave up the RBI single to Putz in the 1st and didn't allow any hits in the 2nd. The 1-2. Preisner wraps it foul outside of 3rd. Josh Hood at 3rd, Dylan Phillips at 1st. 1-2 count, 2 away in the inning. The pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, a nice stop by Huff to prevent another run coming in.
Yeah, that's really important at this point in the game. Again, if you're YD, you really want any chance at coming back into this one down by 8. You can't let anything else at this point come across.
Lined in into left field for a base hit. Zach Preisner able to go out and get that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Hood scores, and the runs continue to come in for Harwich. 10-1 in the sixth.
I mean, they just keep seeing it so well here today. It's just been unbelievable. And now in steps a guy who undoubtedly wants to try to join this hit parade his teammates have been putting on here today.
Ninth man to bat in the inning, it's Tatum Levins. Harwich batting around for the second time in the game. Levins watches strike one. Again, Levins trying to end a bit of a dry spell he's been on over the last several games. Just one hit in almost 20 appearances. 0-1 misses down. Harwich, 2 games back of the Brewster Whitecaps for the division lead, so it's important that they're able to, at the very least, keep pace with them, maybe gain some ground if the Whitecaps struggle as both runners advance 90 feet. Phillips up to third and Preisner to second on a wild pitch.
Yeah, it just keeps on keeping on for YD. When it rains, it pours. Just these mistakes keep on adding up. No errors in the game for the Red Sox, but some of these small things like these pitches in the dirt that have gotten away from catchers have helped to allow bases.
2-1, and Levin's able to lay that one off.
But by and large, it's really just been the hitting today for Harwich that has catapulted them into the lead which they now possess.
Levin swings and pops one foul to the left side. It will just barely make its way out of play. So Levin's with a full count, 2 away and 2 in scoring position. Could make it an even dozen with a base hit here. Payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So Tatum Levin's able to walk, load the bases, and it goes back to the leadoff hitter of the inning, Jordan Beck, who had a solo home run at the time to make it 7-1.
And wouldn't he like to replicate that here with the bases loaded?
Talk about how crazy that'd be. Not just second home run of the game, second home run of the inning if he's able to hit one out.
Would be in rather grand style, too.
No action right now in the YD bullpen, although that might change. I think someone might be getting loose now. Beck swings and hits this one out to right center field, but over to play at Luttrell. He's called off by Williams, and the inning is over. But not before the Mariners add on 4 more. They lead it 10-1 over the YD Red Sox. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
I trust her.
Bottom of the 6th, 10-1. Harwich leads YD and back out for another inning of work. Trey Dombrowski and Tim, talk about not having to feel much pressure all game. Despite not having any pressure, Trey Dombrowski's been pitching every single inning like the bases are loaded with 2 away in the World Series.
Yeah, it's something that I think at this point, if you're a YD, it's just kind of, what's the word, snowballing here. You know, you're going down by so much when it comes to what Harwich has been able to do at the plate. And you have a guy like Dombrowski who came out and struck out 7 across the first 3 innings, and he's just continued an excellent clip here now in the top of the 7th inning, or bottom of the 6th inning, never mind.
2, 3, and 4 hitters for YD. Brooks leaves 2 for 2 off Dombrowski. Swings the first pitch, hits on the ground, bobbled by Phillips. He'll have to flip it, but Dombrowski, great job covering first, able to get there by half a step over Lee for out number 1.
Yeah, there's been a couple of close plays at that first base bag. Thinking back to Tyler Williams' last inning where Dombrowski had overthrown Phillips at first, and then it was Kavanaugh who actually got the assist over at second. So a couple of fortunate breaks with Dombrowski having been a part of these fielding incidents.
First pitch to Dominic Keegan, misses inside. Keegan, of course, as we mentioned earlier, been doing all the offense for YD as of late. The only RBI in this game for the Sox. Count 2-0 to him as Dombrowski misses with a breaking ball. 2-0 pitch. Hit hard on the ground up the middle, and another hit for Keegan. He's now 2 for 3. 6 hits in the game for YD, all of them singles. 1 on with 1 away.
And that's the thing, too. You know, coming into this game, we weren't preaching that Dombrowski was exactly unhittable, but just that he had really good strikeout stuff. I mean, coming into today, he has allowed 16 hits. It's almost a hit an inning coming into today. So to be able to, with one of those only being an extra base hit, but that's to my point here that all of these hits have been singles here today. No batter really has been able to barrel anything up on him all too much.
Huff looking to turn things around at the plate, and he's behind 0-2, fouling that one off. Couple of strikeouts swinging, and he looks to avoid being the 10th K of the afternoon for Dombrowski. There's some action in the Mariners bullpen. You wonder if the end might be near for Dombrowski. But what an outing it's been once again. The 0-2. Hit hard on the ground. This could be 2. Preisner bobbles it, able to get the force at second. The throw still in time. Zach Preisner not giving up on it, flips it to Codier. The throw to Phillips is in time. It's a 6-4-3 double play. And the inning, just like that, is over. We're through 6 from Red Wilson Field. Harwich 10, YD 1. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Head to the 7th here at Red Wilson Field. For the next 3 innings of play-by-play, here is Tim Foley.
Thank you, Colin. And what a 3 innings these are shaping up to be, because right now on the mound for the YD Red Sox, their 7th pitcher of the game, it's going to be number 7, Briley Knight. And the first pitch he throws is in for a called strike. Now, Briley Knight, traditionally an outfielder for these Red Sox. We've seen him out in center field a couple times in games played against Harwich, and he is on the mound. We're trying to get a read on his pitching experience at the moment, as it's a 1-1 count. Second pitch missed down in the dirt. And what a situation you're tasked with. You're coming into pitch against the hottest hitter, as Brock Wilkin grounds over to third, throw on to first. Pulls the first baseman Keegan off the bag, but he does apply the tag on the spin. So down goes Wilkin, 5-3.
A good start. Able to get Wilkin to roll over on that one to third. Nice tag applied as well by Keegan. The throw very wild, able to catch it and just place the tag on Wilkin.
So in steps Carter Putz. And man, what a difficult part of the lineup to try and come in and face off against. Granted, he was able to sit Brock Wilkin down. You now have Carter Putz and Press Kavanaugh standing on deck. 3 of the most menacing bats on this Harwich lineup. Putz will foul one back to the backstop.
Believe it or not, we got another one warming up in the pen.
I think at some point or another, we're going to see Brad Klein, one of the YD broadcasters, start to warm up, because he's been being taught some pitches by these YD pitchers, as they've been putting out some videos. Reaching on a pitch there was Carter Putz. He was really trying to chase after that one. Had some, I don't know if it dropped or just really didn't have the velocity from Briley Knight. As the 1-2 pitch, this one off the end of the bat from Putz. Pacing over is Luttrell. And that ball ends up going foul. So Putz will have to step back in. Count stays at 1-2.
Yeah, we got a bit of a blind angle down the right field line and just couldn't quite get there. A lot of room down that right field line for Luttrell. A lot of foul territory here at YD, but not enough to make that play.
So Knight is out of Portland. We did not mention that. The 1-2 pitch misses up high. He was actually a transfer from Utah. Now here he is on YD on the mound. A 3-2 count now. Knight, he hasn't been bad for YD. I mean, he was excellent in a few games we've seen against Harwich. He's got 6 RBI to this point in the season. 3-2 pitch is pulled out to left. That's going to drop in front of Tanner Smith, so it's a 1-out single for Carter Putz after a lengthy at-bat.
3-hit game for Carter Putz. Nice job just dropping that one out into left field. Continues to be such a huge contact hitter for this Mariners team. And Tim, there is another arm warming, and it would be another position player to my knowledge. Listed on the roster as an infielder, it is Daniel Rivera out of Southern New Hampshire.
First pitch, Press Kavanaugh sees, sends it out towards left field. The catch is made by Smith. 2 away in the top of the 7th inning.
So Scott Pickler at this point going to save whoever's left in his bullpen, because keep in mind, he still sent out 6 pitchers.
Yeah, we were going over the numbers earlier. We found 15 guys listed on this YD bullpen. They have thrown 6 of them plus a position player to this point. So now is Josh Hood coming up to bat. 2 outs. He's got a man on first, and Carter Putz takes the first pitch for a called strike. He's been getting after. Knight has been going after these guys with these first pitch strikes. I will say that.
Nice
Pickoff attempt over at first. Knight is feeling it.
The Red Sox dugout having some fun with it. Might as well make the best of trailing by 9 late in a ball game.
The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Hood couldn't find it. He's behind now, 0-2. Knight's going to grab some dirt, try to get a grip on the ball here and see if he can't record his first CCBLK. The 0-2.
But he balked.
He balked. That skipped in the dirt. Briley Knight, a bit unfamiliar with his mechanics, does offer a balk. This moves Carter Putz down to second base, and you know, I think I'd be surprised if we didn't see one from a guy who's not too familiar with being on the mound. What was it? A guy for the Rays just the other week offered a balk as he lost the ball from his glove. Josh Hood, single through the left side. Carter Putz comes around third. Hood's going to hold up at first. Another run plated for the Mariners. It's 11-1 now in the top of the 7th inning.
Hood, 2 strikes swinging. Able to yank that through the left side of the infield. Putz comes in to score. Just up and down the lineup, great games from basically everybody, and certainly a step in the right direction for Harwich after a couple of heartbreaking defeats.
Absolutely, as the first pitch is a big cut from Dylan Phillips, a guy who is 2 for 3 today. A couple of RBI to his name, 3 RBI to be exact, 2 doubles as well, and he's come around to score once. And you said it, Colin, really has been a productive day, it feels, for really just about everyone in this Mariners lineup. Tatum Levens 0 for 4, but he has gotten on with a walk. He's really the one guy who has not found consistent success here today. It's now a 1-2 count. The off speed finds a way into the strike zone. Briley Knight once again trying to look for his first strikeout here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That is no small feat. On the 1-2. Tries to give him the high cheese, ends up missing well high at the eye level. Dylan Phillips, a seasoned hitter, does not offer at it. 2-2 the count.
And with the clouds out, sun setting, you wonder how much more baseball we'll get in today.
The 2-2 hit on the ground towards Lee. Throw to second, and they got him. Wyatt Hoffman was not exactly prepared for it. Had to make a run onto the bag to catch it just as Lee threw it to him and just as Hood slid into the bag. Tie goes to Hoffman, who records the out. We move to the bottom of the 7th. Harwich leads it 11-1. They're able to scratch one more across. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Red Wilson Field. And the day is done for Trey Dombrowski. What a day it was. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 1 run allowed, no walks, 9 strikeouts, increasing his strikeout total on the season now to 38. 38 strikeouts to 1 walk has been nothing short of excellent this year for Harwich, as the new pitcher, Liam Simon, quickly ahead on the batter, Chase Luttrell, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch misses up high. It's now 1-2 Colin. I mean, just talk about what we saw today from Dombrowski and how that adds to really what we've seen from him all season long, as the 1-2 pitch misses down low.
Business as usual. I mean, we've just been accustomed to seeing these types of performances. Very seldom does he walk batters, strikes out a ton of guys, and goes deep into the ball game.
As a foul tip by Luttrell. So Dombrowski, a guy who really, with the success he has had this year, you have to imagine that his draft stock has shot up monumentally, and that is in large what the league is about in a lot of ways, as the 2-2 pitch misses inside. Levens can't hold on to it. Count runs full. It's where you have a guy in Trey Dombrowski who is coming out of Monmouth, not a Power 5. You're not going to get as many looks at a lot of these SEC guys, as Liam Simon sits down the first batter he sees, and Chase Luttrell, his first strikeout of the game. So to be able to come in here from a mid-level school like that and be arguably, I mean, I only say arguably because I haven't paid tight attention to what the rest of the league has done when it comes to pitching, one of the best pitchers in the league this season is really just, it has been so entertaining to watch. And as I mentioned earlier with my conversation with Coach Gruenberg, could not have happened really to a guy who is more deserving. As the 1-0 pitch misses outside, now 2-0.
Haven't been able to really talk about out-of-town scores because most games starting well after this one, but the other 4 games are now officially in action.
As it's a 3-0 count here to Drew Bowser. It'll be a 4-pitch walk that'll put the second man, Bowser, on base. And you mentioned it, Colin, other games in action right now as Tanner Smith comes up to bat. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Falmouth and Bourne in a 0-0 tie. After that game had a slight delay due to rain. They were supposed to start at 6 o'clock, ended up starting at 6:30. Top of the 5th inning over in Hyannis, the Gatemen lead over the Harbor Hawks 1-0. Top of the 2nd in Orleans, Brewster leads, it's a 0-0 tie. And bottom of the 1st, as that game over in Chatham just getting underway at Veterans Field, 0-0 between the Kettleers and the Anglers. Okay, pitching coach Steve Gruenberg making his way out after that is 5 straight balls thrown by Liam Simon. And looks like he's got a rosin sack in his left hand.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe having trouble having a grip on the ball, which we have heard before from Liam Simon. Sometimes he just has a little bit of trouble gripping the baseball, and you wonder if that might be the reason for this mound visit, as well as just a little bit of a pep talk to calm him down. Do have a pinch hitter also at the plate for the YD Red Sox, as it is Rivera who had been warming up. So Daniel Rivera out of Southern New Hampshire getting the opportunity to pinch hit for Tanner Smith.
That's right, Rivera standing in. I believe this to be his first look at pitching here in the Cape League. It's a 2-0 count. As we're looking down the roster here, not seeing too much on Rivera. Not seeing anything at all, but now that is 6 straight balls from Liam Simon, the 2-0 count. Able to find the strike zone, 2-1.
And you wonder if this might be the final inning here, depending on how long it goes, but I don't know if they'll be able to complete another one with how dark it is getting.
And given the deficit as well as the 2-1 pitch misses down in the dirt, for YD to be able to come back, they would have to score 10 runs, which is going to take quite the amount of time.
Yeah, they'd have to change time zones to have a chance of coming back.
as the 3-1 pitch is just inside the top of the strike zone. So by the time the Red Sox could really complete a full inning, it's going to be too dark for them to be able to score all those runs. So we'll be curious to see what we see here at the bottom of the inning once it concludes. 3-2 pitch misses down low. Inning will continue as Rivera gets on first with a walk.
Simon able to get a couple of strikes, can't really find the zone there. So back-to-back walks after getting a pair of strikeouts. Now it'll be up to Williams, who's one of the few guys that has had a great day at the plate for YD, 2 for 2. Although he was thrown out trying to stretch out a single into, not exactly a double, but just trying to get the extra base.
Yeah, and I understand the thought process behind it when you're down by such a score. And at the time, it was just 6-1. That was right before Harwich had ended up putting up 4 in the top of the 6th inning. You're down by 5. You want to try to give yourself an edge in all these small ways throughout the rest of the game that you can, so that things start to roll your way. But really, it was just another 1-2-3 inning for Trey Dombrowski, as he was able to get 3 1-2-3 innings in a row in those 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. The 0-2 count, hit on the line to the first baseman Phillips, and caught off of first base was Daniel Rivera. So the inning is over. We saw that happen earlier this season as well, where the ball was lined right to the first baseman. I believe it was Phillips, and as Phillips was able to make the catch, he was able to make the tag and is able to force a double play to end the inning. And I believe, as the signal we are getting from the umpires here, that is going to do it from Red Wilson Field. Darkness looming, the game out of reach. These two teams are going to call it a day. So it was an interesting one. The final score, 11-1 in favor of the Harwich Mariners. We'll be back in just a minute to break it down for you. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back into Red Wilson Field here to wrap it up as we take a look at the final lines here. For Harwich, 11 runs on 15 hits, no errors. YD, 1 run on 6 hits with no errors. The winning pitcher, Trey Dombrowski. The losing pitcher, Eric Yost for the Red Sox. A game in which Harwich bounced back, a much-needed feel-good bounce-back win after losing last night against Bourne and then tying these very YD Red Sox at this very field 2 days ago off a solo shot in the 9th inning. So for this team to be able to come back and win in the fashion that they did, it's got to feel good for these players to perform as they did. A lot of guys played excellent in this one. Jordan Beck with his first home run of the season. Multiple guys coming around to score twice. Chris Newell, Carter Putz, Press Kavanaugh, Josh Hood. Really across the board, it was a through-and-through effort for this lineup here today. Final line for Trey Dombrowski on the mound. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Did not give up a walk, struck out 9. Liam Simon came in 1 inning of relief in the 7th inning. That was all that was played beyond Dombrowski's start. Did not give up a hit nor a run. Did walk 2 and struck out 1. The Mariners are off tomorrow. They'll have an off day where they'll take a break before heading back on the road for a 7 o'clock start time at Wareham, where they visit the Wareham Gatemen. Then on Saturday, they'll play host to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks before heading back on the road for a revenge game at Bourne. So it should be an interesting stretch of games here for the Mariners as the season continues on. Not a whole lot left, really just about 2 or so weeks. This was game 28 for the Mariners in a 40-game season. So about 2 weeks left in this 2021 CCBL season. Harwich with a big win today over an East Division opponent, helping to make sure they get one of the 2 coveted playoff spots in the East. So that will do it for our broadcast here today from Merrill Red Wilson Field here in South Yarmouth. For my producer here today, Chris Cassidy. For our man on social media, Tyler Henry. For my broadcast partner, Colin Casey. This is Tim Foley. Been a pleasure bringing you this game here today from Red Wilson Field. We'll be back with you on Friday night to take on the Gatemen. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely evening.